Hello my good people, welcome to Take It Book Club. Today we'll be looking at chapter 11 on the book Fathers of Nations, but in a summarized bit of it. Pastor Chiamaker goes through the Pinnacle Hotel's security clearance formalities without difficulty and enters the dining room with ease. According to the program, heads of state should have had a small dinner at the Pinnacle Hotel the day before the real banquet on the last day of their summit. That small dinner at the Pinnacle Hotel was cancelled without explanation, so Chiamaker's intended plan to meet his president and ask him about why Omega failed. Chiamaker's mobile phone rings. He picks it up. The caller on the other end is in jovial mood. It is the guide calling. The guide informs Pastor Chiamaker that he had scheduled a meeting that is soon to bring together Chiamaker and 4 other people alongside the guide. Pastor Chineke Chiamaker is invited to room 2059 Central Wing of the Seamount Hotel. This is the room where the guide is. Meanwhile, as Comrade Melusi is in bed, flat on his back, daydreaming about his late wife, the lizard, he reaches for his wallet and pulls out her photograph. His mobile phone rings. He answers. The caller reminds Melusi how he almost failed the security test that the security officers nearly uncovered him. Comrade Melusi is also invited to the very meeting in an hour's time without fail. Comrade Melusi returns to the wife's photograph. In an atmosphere, he promises his late wife, the photograph, that he will see to it that the person who killed her shall die to underscore this promise. He rises on his feet, stands at attention, executes a wobbly salute, and intones an oath. The following day, he swears he will have revenge. In the meantime, as Professor Kimani is brushing his teeth, ready for bed, the mirror before him shows he was losing everything. His belly hangs over his belt like a half-empty sack. He tries to suck it in, it stays put. His face had wrinkles like a dry prune. The fold on his skin ran on the left and right of his nose down to the left and right side of the mouth. He tries to smile them away. They refuse to leave. The flesh under his chin hangs and shakes. Was getting old, a process of wholesale loosening. His mobile phone interrupts his analysis. Professor Kimani is invited in an hour's time alongside others to room 2059, Central Wing of the Seamount Hotel. Elsewhere, Engineer Tahir is all set to turn in. His phone rings. While he is still engrossed in thoughts about his eye, the caller had left a note for Engineer Tahir about an hour ago. He gets the note. The caller reminds him that they will meet in an hour's time, room 2059, Central Wing. The material day is here. Dr. Afolabi arrives early. Mr. Tad Longway had requested to come early to broach the meeting with him before it began. Other participants of the meeting arrive. When all have taken their seats, Mr. Longway rises since he knows them all and they did not know each other. He leads them through introduction. Mr. Longway turns to serious business. Dr. Afolabi then takes over to describe how the mission is to be executed. Dr. Afolabi introduces himself and tells them that he is the one previously known as Guide. The 4 could not believe their eyes and ears. Dr. Afolabi explains that he had been invited to the summit as an advisor for Way Omega, while the 4 had come as advocates of Path Alpha, a rival group. Such being the case, he feels he cannot openly work with them without appearing to undermine his official role. He also discloses that he studied both Path Alpha and Way Omega closely and feels duty-bound to balance his views on each of the documents in the advice he will give to the summit. He seeks for their forgiveness under the prevailing circumstances, and they agree with him. Dr. Afolabi shares that nations don't host summits just for the sake of amusing foreign visitors, and Gambia is no exemption. They do so out of self-interest, and their presidents themselves usually accept the honor of serving as summit chair. But this time round, Gambia's president declined the honor because he expects the summit to turn bitter and the chair to end up pleasing some heads of state and displeasing others. Since they reckons he can serve his country's interest best if he pleases all and displeases none. Dr. Afolabi indicates that it's important to take care of this unique situation because the new chair has, up his sleeves, a play he calls the trick, which is good for them. This play opens the door for Path Alpha. Dr. Afolabi proposes that they go and think about the whole thing so that the following day in the summit, during the speaker's microphone session, they raise the issue at hand.
Thanks for listening this piece from Ticket Audiobooks. Be sure to listen to other audiobooks in the list. Subscribe, push the notification bell and don't forget to share with your friends and family.